back to this week's Friday Fireside Chats with Hali. So this week I have with me Jenn, who is one of our amazing techs. So go ahead, say hi.
Hi.
Let us know a little bit. Everybody does that. A little bit about what you do. So you are a technician here.
Yep.
So what does that mean?
Yep. So I am a PDI tech. It means pre-delivery inspection. So what I do is any unit that comes in to the dealership, sold or not, I do a full inspection. So that entails full propane system checks, 12-volt system check, 110-volt system check, and water system check. I do the whole shebang. I had a whole checklist that I follow through. Any warranty or repairs, minor ones, I do that. Anything major goes to my awesome service techs in the top shop. Anything to do with bearing packs, axles, anything on the roof, slides, more of the major work they do. I do little trim work, wiring, things like that. So that's what I do. And I get to do awesome orientations.
Yes.
For customers when a unit is sold. And so one of my jobs is when you go to purchase your camper with your salesman or saleswoman, they bring you to me and then we do a walkthrough. So
those walkthroughs are really helpful. A lot of my customers really appreciate those.
Mm-hmm.
And even if they've already had, 15 other campers prior to the new camper that they're purchasing, it's so nice to have someone who's already been through it, you did the checks, to go through and say, this is how you run the water, this is how you, throw the fireplace on, this is how you, whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
And I really think they get a good feel of how everything works, but then they also are in a good environment to ask questions, because then they can say, oh yeah, what's this one switch for, how do you work that? And
it's amazing, I learned not to take for granted if you've had one unit, your first unit, or 1,000 of them. Things change over time in that, and there's so much new technology now.
Yeah.
With the RVs, it's amazing. That these are houses on wheels. It's crazy how they,
yeah,
what they entail and everything. So
well, even just everybody talks about the solar and the inverters, and some of that's a newer concept, so that's new to a lot of campers. But then even things switching over from typical water heaters to tankless hot water heaters, and the shower misers and different things like that just, it's little things, but they do make a difference, and it helps to have somebody be able to tell you how to work it.
Exactly. And really what we like to do on our orientations is just to make it simple. It sounds like a lot of techie stuff, but it's really not complicated.
Yeah.
Unless you want to make it complicated. It's really, it's really not.
Right.
Right. And a lot of it too is just pointing out the locations of things, and I do recommend, whether you're brand new, well, especially if you're brand new, but to the RV world. But one thing that I've learned is checklists are awesome. You can Google RV checklist. There's pre-travel checklist, end of the season checklist, maintenance checklist. Little things on maintenance are so important.
Yeah.
Just little things like on the slides you have the rubber gaskets on each side, and we have that slide seal conditioner. That one can's gonna last you forever. You know. So it's well worth the investment in that. But checklist, I'm big on checklist.
Yeah.
So
that's huge. That's huge. And if you talk to the right salesperson, they may or may not be able to get you. We do have a laminated checklist.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
Yeah, not necessarily of the maintenance and all. It's more, some of it is maintenance of checking to make sure all your slides are in and everything's good before you pull out of the campsite. Some of those basic things that, people go, oh, duh. But it isn't always when you're in the heat of things, and you sometimes may forget. Don't forget to unplug your cord before you...
That's happened. People have done that.
People have done it before you drive away and stuff like that. So we do... Now, they are not as common. We used to have a huge stack, and now it's kind of dwindled down, and I don't know if that's something that we're going to reorder or not. I could maybe get in with our marketing guy and get some, let's get some more checklists. But that's a really good idea, because I think a lot of people did. There is so much that goes into it, especially if you're traveling, camping with other family members, you're meeting up with somebody and you're trying to just find sites next to each other, and you're worried more about or concentrated more on that than you are on maybe some other things that, don't forget, you have to do all these other things too, which is a good thing. So, now Jen, you grew up camping.
Yes, I did. That's my best memories.
Yes?
Yes.
So, share with us just a couple of your most favorite camping memories.
Okay.
Yes. Yes.
So, my grandparents, rest their soul, they have since moved on, passed on, but we grew up camping at Huda Point Campground up in Tower. I haven't been there in over 20 years or whatever. Yep. But in the 80s, we grew up at Huda Point Campground. And my favorite memories are, my grandpa was really, really good with the wildlife. Yeah. He's from Babbitt and that. I mean, he would get like wild birds landing on his shoulders and stuff, and he'd feed like the chipmunks and squirrels out of his hand. So we had 3 particular chipmunks that would visit the campsite, and he named them Elmer, Sally, and the Postman.
The Postman.
And I did not figure out until I was old enough or older what my grandpa meant when he said that poor Elmer's gone at work all day and here comes the postman. So I don't know if I can say that.
That's okay. That's
funny. Sally. But one of the memories I have is, so my birthday's in July.
Yeah.
And my grandpa, one of the chipmunks, I can't remember if it was Elmer or Sally or whatever, he got that chipmunk. My brother had a remote control car. Yeah. And he trained that chipmunk to sit on top of the car, and it would drive around. He'd drive around.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, with that chipmunk on there. And then on my birthday, my mom had made birthday cake for me and that, and we put some little piece of cake in an ice cream bucket. So the opening was like this way, not up top, but that way. And that sucker ran in there, and he come out and he had frosting, everything all over his face, cake in his mouth and everything. But I'd say like the camping is probably my best memories. I think that's one of the reasons why I love working here so much, is because just the memories I have from camping and that. And it's fun to see people come in and just share the ups and downs in life and the excitement. Yeah. And just kind of what goes into camping and everything. So, very special memories.
Yeah, that's really neat. Mm-hmm. You know, it's funny because we talk a lot about how you're not just selling them a camper, you're selling them memories. Mm-hmm. You're selling them the opportunity to make memories. And you will have all kinds of different memories from, I even related back to like the very first time you go camping as an adult, and you don't have mom or dad to help you put the tent up, because I shouldn't say everybody, most people start out, they go tent camping, and then they kind of work their way up into a small camper, and then a bigger camper like this one. This is a Cherokee, it's a bunkhouse, couple slides and all that, but then then some people progress in fifth wheels or motorhomes or something like that. But you think back to, let's go back to when you first had to set up the tent as an adult, and you don't have mom or dad to help you, and there's like all kinds of things. You're like, they made it look so easy.
I know. Yep.
And I think back to that, and we did it with our kids, and our kids were like, oh, okay, fine, I'll help. But you have them help, and you have them do all these things that maybe they're not used to doing, but overall, that was probably one of the funnest trips that my kids will, talk about. Because we went like not super far away, but far enough away where we had to like totally Tetris everything into our vehicle to make it all of it, and make sure you don't forget the tent, because that's kind of a major thing. But, campers are the same concept, because then as you graduate into the camper world, you have to make sure everything fits, and
that's why you need a checklist.
We're big on the checklist. And I love that they've gone to the point of storage. There's all kinds of storage in these campers that you don't have to Tetris it all into your vehicle. You can Tetris it all into your camper instead. But I really think that when people buy a camper, they're buying memories. It may be stick and tin, aluminum, big, small. They're really buying the memories that goes along with it.
Yeah, you still have, like in life, it's not like whatever your problems you have go away, and it's not like it's an escape or complete avoidance, but there's just something about, because you're still dealing with stuff, right? But there's still something about being at a campground and being in that environment that it just makes it more calm. You know, just makes it more, just more calm, I guess. I can't explain it, but.
Well, and what's nice about campgrounds, too, is you can make friends if you want to. You know, there's other people at the campground who are friendly and want to make friends, and then there's other people who stay to themselves. And if you want to stay to yourself, you can do that. You know, you don't have to socialize with everybody, but that's some of our, so we also grew up up on the range as well, and we would go to Hoodoo Point every 4th of July to go to my grandma and grandpa's house in Tower, do the parade, the whole thing, and a lot of our cousins would stay at Hoodoo Point, and we'd go there, so there'd be kids running around on bikes, and we'd be making friends with the other kids at the campground, the banana seat bikes, and if you were small enough, you could fit 2 people on that bike, or if you had a cool friend who had the pegs on the back, they'd stand and hang onto the shoulders, and you know, it's such a fun experience to be able to, you know, every year we'd go back and you'd start to see the same people and get to know people that way too.
It makes me think of my aunt and uncle. They're from, you know, Iron Range shipping, but it makes me think of them right now because they've been out at Swan Lake and Pengilly. They have like a seasonal for over, I don't know, 25 years or whatever. And they have, I mean, they just a core group of people. I mean, there's been other people that have come and gone, but just the memories and the relationships that they've built over the years and the friendships that they've had from the campground. You know, it was fun to watch.
It's a whole community. It's a whole community, the camping community. So if you're new and you're just getting into the camping community, it's very welcoming, and you'll be able to find a lot of really great friends that way. And if you're, you know, a pro or a seasoned veteran, we'll say, in the camping community, you know, you can still continue to build those memories and change and do other things. But awesome. Do you have any last thoughts or wisdom for our viewers as a technician?
I guess the only thing I can think of, so orientations, they can be overwhelming, you know, for some people, that because it's information overload. There's a lot of information in that, and you're excited at the same time. You're not always retaining the information. First, you could always record the orientation. Some people do that. It does help. Otherwise, just when you get your unit home, and that I tell people, just kind of plug in that and just enjoy it. Play with, you know, open it up, play with it. We always send you with an adapter to plug into a 110 outlet, like in your garage outlet, so you can open up your slides and everything like that. There's YouTube videos, there's, you know, whatever manufacturer you go through, whether Winnebago or Grand Design, Keystone, Forest River, you know, they have their own websites and everything like that. And of course you have all your owner's manuals. So don't, we try to make the experience comforting, fun, and stuff like that. So just please, hopefully we don't overwhelm you. But again, there's a lot of different resources in that. So
yeah, that's good. Utilize your resources. Internet, manuals, utilize us, give us a call. We'd be happy to help, or at least direct you in the right direction.
Right.
Use the checklist. Checklists are great. And that'll be the theme of this this episode series, checklists and why to have them. Yeah. So no, I think that's really great, and I appreciate you chatting with me and giving our viewers some information and some memories and things to reminisce about. It's kind of fun for us, and hopefully it's fun for you guys. That also reminds me, so go ahead, like, subscribe, and leave in the comments some topics that you guys want to hear about. We'd love to take in some of those topics, and I'll do what I can, and I'll find somebody within our facility who has knowledge and expertise on those topics, and then we'll get them in as guests. And yeah, so I'm excited for this, and I appreciate you, Jen, coming in, and it was great. So with that, have a great week.